I'm Monanchi, but being very honest,
yeah,
about things. So please do check
yeah,
it out.
I think
Now,
I
in the
watched
latest episode of What's Happening with Our Children, a man who accidentally walked in on his high school son, reportedly engaging in sexual acts with a lady this week, paid with his life, thanks to a brawl that manifested thereafter. Police have since arrested the Form 4 student who stands accused of killing his father with a machete. Now, is it time to talk about our approach to parenting? And also, I don't know what's happening, but then how we were raised, I don't know if I have any friends, or at the time that I was growing up, who would talk back to their folks, let alone be violent, let alone get to the point that now we hear so many cases of, death involving students, whether it's a teacher or a parent. Kwach?
I think we have to strike the balance between respect and fear. Sometimes if your kids cannot respect you, make them fear you. Make them think that akikushika utamuua. I think, Cindy, the more I see these cases and I see, of course, I've been one of those who do not propose the thing about corporal punishment. Beating your kids.
You don't believe in spare the rod to spoil child. You'll never spank your children.
I don't. I've never. My kid is now 7 years old.
Then that is the reason why you have kids who are kwa kijana unasema kubeto. Chopping their parents up.
Father's arms. But also, I think what Amina was saying, how come that kids have grown to this level where they think they can stand up to their parents?
Because they were not beaten. Oh my
It's not about beating, Cindy.
They were not disciplined when they were children. They believe that they can get away with everything.
I think, Cindy,
they were talked to a buju buju. They were called Baba Boy until they were 16.
A direct correlation between disciplining your child by beating them and them behaving.
I think disciplining. Beating is one of them, but I don't think it is limited to beating. We grew up with kids who are beaten to death, but even by that, they still didn't change.
They did not beat. They did not hack their parents, though.
They didn't. Yes, I agree, but they still did other things that just was as
they
bad.
drank, they smoked.
So what I'm saying, Cindy, is there are others who are beaten, and out of the beating, they still grew up and thought their parents were bullying them, their parents were doing those things, harassing them, and they grew up to be rebellious and things like that. I think as you are punishing your kid, let them know. Don't forget that it is a tricky balance. You have to let them know that you're punishing them and not torturing them.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Yes.
I'm sure we're all fans of Flaco on Instagram, an amazing content creator.
Exactly.
You see Mama Otis?
Yes, Otis.
If Mama Otis.
Yes.
If everyone was like Mama Otis, let me tell you, we'd have less cases. Because we grew up in a generation where our parents would lay down the rule. They would lay down the law. And we had very limited cases of kids who are truant. And now we have a huge amount of kids who are raised by absentee fathers, absentee mothers. Then you come later on and you demand stuff from your kids. Of course, they'll give that look of, who the hell are you?
Also, I wanted to pick your brains on one small thing I saw online this week, that this showcasing this thing on TV could be a reason why it is being propelled.
What do you mean showcasing? Like now that we're talking about it?
Yep.
So
come on,
no. And this really stemmed from the thing about schools are being banned and things like that, so that when they see it being that Kawangware boys wamechoma, Nini boys wamechoma, mbona sisi tusichome?
Apana, awareness is important. We need to talk about it so we can shed a light and let guys know that this is what is happening and it is wrong. Being quiet does not mean that, we are now on the right side. When you speak up against evil, and that is now when you're able to denounce it and make it lose its power.
What we're doing, I think, that would be sweeping things under the rug. Just pretending that it's, we're just with our heads in the sand, we don't know, nothing is happening. We can't pretend to be that oblivious. And I think that parents need to know that there's another part of the country where kids are doing this and your child is not exempted from that. You don't know what content they're consuming and the kind of friends that they're having around, they're hanging around. And Cindy is right, if you're absent, then you don't get to really know. And then one day, all of a sudden, you wonder, what kind of temper does my son or my daughter have? I saw a story this week about the student who injured 3 of his teachers. He had tied that thing on his arm. We keep hearing so many more, and how many go unreported? How many of them do not actually make it to mainstream TV? So for the folks, be prepared. Even for the teachers, now they can, maybe it's a way for them to also negotiate better contracts where they say, listen, hardship allowance zamani ilikuwa kama unaenda kwa Northeastern. Now generally just being a teacher is an
Northeastern has come to us.
It is no